Rock on. Whew. Okay. Here we see this thing called the Cori cycle. That's on page 48. That's the high point from there. Now, we're going to come back to this whole thing on page 48 called gluconeogenesis, so stay excited about that. All right, so now we come over and we start talking about lactate threshold. Now, as an athlete gets stronger, and we did briefly mention this on Tuesday, as an athlete gets stronger, faster, bigger, more efficient, more powerful, they reach this OBLA. Does anybody remember what that stands for? Onset blood lactate accumulation. OBLA. So they got it when you got it. You don't got it, Kendall. I see you don't got it. Okay. Now, if we want our athlete to be stronger, bigger, better, faster, do we want them to get to their lactate threshold sooner or later? Later. So we want to delay our OBLA. Say it. Delay OBLA. Say it. Delay OBLA. Say it again. Delay OBLA. Because here's what happens. If my 400-meter runner can buffer off those hydrogen ions, they're going to get to the finish line faster because their body has become more efficient and effective at handling this. Now, one of the things that we know in sport performance is we have tried to come up with different supplements to help us buffer off hydrogen ion accumulation. It's interesting. You know what one of them is? It's a fancy thing called sodium bicarbonate. Does anyone know what sodium bicarbonate is? Baking soda. Now here's the thing. You have to take it in mass quantities to neutralize hydrogen ions. Now when I say mass quantities, envision 1/4 of a cup of water. Okay, that's about 3 swigs. Okay? Now, in that 1/4 cup of water, you're going to take 3 tablespoons of baking soda, pour it in there, stir it up, and drink it. No one really signs up for that. Because here's what happens. Your body will eventually start to respond to it. I'm going to get kind of graphic here. Whenever you take in that much baking soda with the intent of buffering off hydrogen ions, it can cause pretty large gastric emptying and distress. Do I have to get any more critical than that? Evacuate the system quickly. And it usually heads south, not north. Okay? Some people it heads north, most people it heads south. So what kind of people are you? Smart people. Let's say you've got this athlete that is willing to do anything to get some sort of performance edge because they want to be better. They read in some Joe Schmo magazine that they can do this sodium bicarbonate thing. Now, all of a sudden, you've got a high jumper going high in the air with gastrointestinal issues. Not a pretty sight. Or think about a sprinter, 100-meter runner trying to come out of the blocks. Something else is going to come out of the blocks.
That's happened before in the track meet.
Yeah. You couple nerves with a wacky supplement that you're trying to get a performance advantage. The body doesn't like it. Okay? Not only does the body not like it, but think about it from this perspective, and it goes back to what I've been hammering all over again. You take in that massive influx of sodium bicarbonate with the intention of delaying your OBLA. Now, if you have been slowly maybe eking up to this dose of doing this, because it does work in some athletes, but all of a sudden you try something new, you just asked your body to shart your pants. And your body will respond to whatever you ask it to. It drives me crazy when people say, I don't know how this happened. There's an answer. You ask it to. Okay? You guys, once you put something in your body, it's on the express track to chemistry. It is. And there's no going back. You know, I was talking to Dr. Laurent. He gave a great example about once you eat food, it's like anyone ever been through an automatic car wash? He talked about that. Isn't that the best example? Awesome. Except I told him, I said it needs to be vertical, not horizontal. You know, I was like, once you put that car in neutral and you take your hands off the wheel, you're rolling. And all of these different things are happening because you know what? You ask to pull up to the car wash, put your money in, and get your hands off the wheel. That is a great analogy in it. I absolutely loved it. But this is what you're asking your body to do. And it's going to do exactly what you want it to. It's a beautiful thing. Is everybody pretty solid on this? Very nice. Okay. So do we want to accelerate or delay our OBLA? Delay our OBLA. Okay. Now, come over here and let's talk about, where do we jump into? Where does it actually change and go to? I skipped ahead too quick, sorry. Where does it start talking about the aerobic system? Glycolysis. Which page?
51.
51. And moved it. It used to be, okay. They don't really make that very bold, do they, down there? Okay. So here's what we remember this. Type 2 fibers are always type 2 fibers. Type 1 fibers are always type 1 fibers. Okay, now, depending on the training protocol that you're exposing the fibers to, they're going to respond. So now, just because, now remember, what is happening to the duration of our activity as we move to the left? It's getting longer. What is happening to the intensity? It's decreasing. That's the only way the body can do it. So once we start moving a little bit longer than 3 minutes, we have to start burning a different fuel. And then a different fuel after that. Now, what we see is, we see your liver holding on to glycogen. And whenever our duration gets a little bit longer, we start tapping into our liver. Because really and truly, what have we already blown through? We've already blown through the muscle glycogen. Now, unless we've consistently put more glycogen in, which some people consistently, yes, that's that taking a sip of Gatorade all the time to keep your muscle glycogen loaded. But basically, you're going to blow through this muscle glycogen over here. Over here, you're going to be using liver glycogen. Now, what we know, without a doubt, and I'm flipping over now to page, let's jump on page 53. Okay, so you have 3 different fuels to choose from when it comes to type 1 fibers. Okay, you can use glycogen stored in your liver. Say got it when you got it. Okay, you can use fat stored where? Everywhere, okay? Basically stored in your adipose tissue. Okay, so this is a fuel source. This is a fuel source. And what else would be another fuel source? Dun, dun, dun. You paid attention in nutrition, didn't you? I love that, Jesse. Okay, muscle or protein? Okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you ever want to use precious muscle or hard to get protein as a fuel source? No. No, no, no. When? No. Should we ever? No. This is the Holy Grail. Don't lose it. here's what we know is, if you have not trained your body to be a fat-burning athlete, once your liver glycogen is gone, you're going to do this thing called gluconeogenesis, which we mentioned in the previous section. I told you to hang on to that word. Gluconeogenesis. Break that out. Gluco means what? Glucose. Neo, new, genesis, creation. So your body can create new glycogen from muscle.